Hey, welcome back everyone. Old Bubs here to give a rundown on my top 5 most carried knives of the last couple months. It is a hot day in mid-July in the year of our Lord 2023. Without further ado, here is the first one. Alright, in the 5th most carried position we have the Vero Engineering Synapse. This is a super sweet bolster lock knife that I sought after for a very long time. This particular one is in the hand satin finish and carbon fiber scales. All the rest is titanium and the knife blade itself is M390. I really liked this design because it just looks super beautiful and it has really cool deployment methods. It's a flipper tab without being intrusive or obtrusive or being a nuisance in your pocket. Operates super smoothly, and then it also has this little in cut for the reverse flick. A very nice look and feel ergonomically. This is just a really great knife, one that I wanted for a long time. My only complaint is that this one did not come super sharp, but I've been super swamped and just a touch overwhelmed with my everyday life, so I have not had the chance to put a new screaming sharp edge on this one. Number 4, we have the Tactile Knives Maverick. This one in all titanium, and of course that Tactile Knives texturing and milling, which is oh so sweet. And this one in Magna Cut steel. I did give this knife a delayed full review because there are some things that I really like about it, and also a couple of things that just eat at me a little bit that I wish were a touch different. But all in all, this is a really good knife and a great one to carry, and so you know, I've carried it about 4th most lately. Nestling in nicely at the number 3 spot, we have your old Chris Reeves Sebenza in micarta and Magna Cut. This is another one of those knives that I really wanted for a very long time. I have to say my carrying experience has been stellar. The Sebenza is an extremely ergonomic knife for my hand, so I've really liked cutting with it. It's definitely a knife that is up to the hard task and it fits really well in the hand. This is one that I would definitely choose if I had to make a lot of cuts. Even though it does carry a Chris Reeves expensive price tag, I think this is a super great knife that I'm very happy to have. Just as everyone says, this one came from the factory with an action that was as stiff as freshly starched khaki Dockers in the 90s, but it soon learned to loosen up and it actually flicks open quite well and easily without a ton of wrist action. And it's definitely never going to be a fall shut knife, but it opens and closes one-handed just fine. The tried and true frame lock design that Chris Reeves delivers is not required to conform to modern drop shut action fads. This thing is a tank and it stood the test of time, and I've truly enjoyed my experience carrying it. You can see that this micarta does dry out a little bit from time to time. You just hit it with a touch of oil and it brings back a nice shine and luster. And just as I said in my unboxing video of this guy, this is the nicest looking and feeling micarta I have ever seen. Top to bottom, through and through, this knife is just put together superbly. And when assembling and disassembling this knife, you grow an even greater appreciation for the engineering that has gone into a Chris Reeve. And in the old number 2 spot, you have the Spyderco Sage 5 Lightweight. This is one of Spyderco's Taichung Taiwan designs, and I am a huge fan of it. This one is in S30V, and it is a fantastic knife. The action on this guy is incredible. It's about as good as the compression lock can ever be. And this FRN on these from Taiwan is a completely different FRN than they use in the Japanese and US Spydercos with FRN. This guy has full steel liners. It is really nicely and rigidly put together. I have swapped out the wire pocket clip for this one from Lynch Northwest, so I really like that a lot better. And this one is just an all-around great everyday carry knife. And number 1, and guys and gals, it isn't even close. Once I got this thing, I have carried it so much more than anything else. This is the Benchmade Narrows. Now I know that several of you are hyperventilating and racing to the keyboard to say how overpriced this knife and that its existence isn't justified because Benchmade is out of their minds for making such an overpriced knife, but I'm here to tell you guys that this thing is awesome. For me, If this had a stiffer spring to have a little bit stiffer detent, because you can give it one of those pretty easy, it would be the perfect EDC knife for my preferences. I love the engineering. I love this upgraded axis lock. The pocket clip, again, Benchmade's mini deep carry is one of the best in the game. I love these pops of blue color. I love this titanium scale and just how thin it is. This thing disappears in my pocket, and Benchmade did an absolutely incredible job with the M390 heat treat on this. I have been cutting up a storm of cardboard and other things and doing food prep with this knife because I got a lot of projects going around the house, and I'm actually tucking away a bunch of cardboard. So I've been breaking down tons of boxes with this thing, and it is just now getting to the point where it's needed a few hits on the strop to remain hair popping sharp. And this edge geometry and this thin blade stock just slices and slices and slices. So I have found myself reaching for this one constantly. So yes, this thing is super expensive. Is it worth it? I don't know, but I am enjoying carrying this knife so much. It has certainly been rising to the top of the old Bub's power rankings. It will be a formidable possible champion of the Knife Madness bracket, but July is pretty far from March if you're not familiar with the Gregorian calendar, so you'll just have to watch last year's bracket challenge a bunch of times to tide yourself over. Going through those one more time for you, we have the Vero Synapse, the Tactile Maverick, Chris Reeves Sebenza, that is the large Sebenza, I didn't mention that before, the Spyderco Sage 5, and then the Benchmade Narrows. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you'll let love and light fill your life. Stay sharp out there, friends. I will see you all on the next one.